here's 5 sneakers that I was completely wrong about. Starting with the Nike Dunlow Artifact collaboration. This was a pair of shoes that initially had a lot of apprehension towards simply because of its ties to NFTs. But now that I actually have them and tried them out, the physical product, they're made pretty insanely well. So if you didn't know who Artifact is, they're a company that focuses on digital collectibles. Now this is mostly in the form of visual, fashion, sneakers, apparel, stuff like that. And Artifact has been creating a lot of these virtual designs, and now that they've teamed up with Nike, they've got a bunch of different colorways on an actual physical product. So far, they've done 4 different ones. They've got the Ghost colorway, which is the one I have. They've got the Void colorway, the OG colorway, and the Clone X. All of these are naturally very limited, which definitely plays into the collectible aspect of this pair of shoes. But as someone who isn't really interested in the whole virtual aspect as much as I am the physical, I really appreciate how this entire collaboration is not closed off from people who just like the shoes and want to wear them. And there is so many really interesting and cool things about this pair of sneakers. For starters, every single pair comes with an NFC chip embedded into the heel of them. So what this means is when you put your phone close to this pair of shoes, an actual link pops up and you can click on that to claim the virtual version or counterpart of this sneaker. So I assume it kind of makes this sneaker impossible to fake. I think the design of these sneakers was so well executed, it really brings together what Artifact brings to the table, which is the super futuristic gaming aesthetic, and then brings in that Nike heritage with the base model being a Nike Dunk. But this pair of shoes is clearly so far from a standard pair of Dunks, not just visually, but also practically as well. They're way more comfortable. They have a completely redesigned foam midsole instead of the standard pretty tough rubber that's included on a regular pair. You've got a lot more ankle padding and support around them, which of course lends to the comfort as well. Practically, they are way better than I originally thought they were going to be. But by far, my favorite part about the Artifact Dunks has to be the attachments and the customization that offers people. So in the box, you get a heel clip and a tongue clip. You also get this tiny little metal vial that you can attach into the tongue clip. It also has the little name of the colorway of the shoe that you bought. These attachments, I think, look really cool, and I think they make the shoe look kind of more chunky, more futuristic. But the customization aspect is where I think this shoe really succeeds, because they made the actual CAD files for this pair of shoes public, so anybody can 3D print and come up with any design they want to attach to this sneaker. Artifact has an entire webpage where it showcases some of the community's 3D prints for different attachments to add to this shoe. One of them I saw literally blew my mind. It was an infinity portal that you could add to the tongue, which lights up and everything and has like this mirror effect, so it literally looks like an infinity portal. But there is a ton of incredibly creative different designs that people have come up with, and obviously the CAD files are available to everybody. Not everybody has a 3D printer, but of course you could find someone who does or pay someone who does and just go crazy with the different creations that you can put on this pair of shoes. There's a ton of really small little details that Artifact and Nike have come up with and added to this pair of sneakers, and I think at the end of the day, this is going to go down as probably the coolest Nike sneaker I have ever owned. But let's take a step back from the future and let's talk about a pair of shoes that's relatively old. In fact, it's all the way back from the 2000s. It's the New Balance 740. I am so glad I bought this pair of shoes because I was so close to just passing up on it. They are currently my favorite affordable shoe. Clocking in at just $100, these are incredibly impressive for that price tag. So basically, this model was brought back from New Balance's archive, I assume to compete with one of the most popular sneakers out right now, the Asics 1130. When it comes to a retro sneaker model, there's not really all that much you can do to it to make it stand out from the rest of them. It seems like pretty much every single brand at this point has some kind of retro model that they brought back from their own respective archives. So the main things that you're going to be looking for when you're on the market for a pair of retro runners is really good quality and insane comfort. Now obviously the looks definitely play a big part into that, although a lot of them look very, very similar, and the quality on these does not disappoint for that price tag. I do think that these edge out the Asics 1130 in that quality department just very slightly. They just feel a little bit more substantial in a direct comparison to that model. The cushioning is also really nice, making this an insanely comfortable option, and honestly there's not a whole lot bad I can say about the New Balance 740, except for the fact that it's so new. There's only a handful of colorways available, but that's going to change very, very soon. We've already seen a bunch of different colorways that are planned for this year and next year. And of course collaborations, one of the first ones being the Amine one that's dropping next month. Overall, if you're looking for an insanely comfortable everyday sneaker, I think this is the new gold standard. Alright, next up, it's a pretty funny one. It's the Nike Shox. So I made a video going over the top 10 most viral trending sneakers sneakers right now. And this was one of the pairs on the list, but in all honesty, like buying all of these shoes for that video, this was one of the last shoes I thought that I would actually like and wear. But man, these things were cool. I was shocked, no pun intended. Like, they not only look really cool, but when I put these things on, they're actually also really comfortable. Now, there's definitely something to be said about how different this pair of shoes looks, and I actually really appreciate that aspect probably more than anything. Nike's been putting out a lot of retro models that kind of all look the same, and this is by far one of Nike's wildest creations. It's not anything brand new, like this is a 2000 sneaker, so it is still Nike bringing back retro models, but it's still kind of wild that these things stand up today, and it really shows that Nike was doing some pretty crazy stuff back then in terms of innovation. Now, the materials in the shoe itself is nothing crazy, it's mostly synthetic materials, but the cushioning underfoot is nice. They overall are a comfortable pair of shoes. Visually, it does kind of make your heel look like it's elevated, almost like you're walking around in high heels, but I can promise you inside your foot is flat just like any other shoe. Now look, I think a lot of other people surely have some reservations just based off of the design of this pair of shoes, but I would say if you were like me and you maybe thought that this was a little bit too crazy for you, try them out because it might just surprise you as well. Definitely changed my mind, and it's now a pair of shoes that I'm going to be wearing a ton. Which, speaking of, next is a pair of shoes that is perfect for wearing a ton right now. It's the Nike Zoom Vomero Roam. Now, this is a pair of shoes that initially I immediately liked the look of. I thought it looked pretty cool, but trying them out is what surprised me the most. It's a sneaker that I really didn't think would work, like in terms of what they're trying to do here, but they managed to make the construction of these things really, really solid. So it takes everything that we know and we love from the Zoom Vomero 5. The insane comfort, the pretty solid looks, and the shape. But then it just dials everything up a notch to make these things built like a tank. So you've got a massive jump in overall durability and weatherproofing. As the name implies, this pair of shoes is built for the winter. Nike describes them as designed for the city and wet weather. So here's all of the things that they actually changed in comparison to a regular pair of Zoom Vomero 5s. So the midsole and outsole is now wider and thicker. It might also be softer. I tried them side by side with a regular pair of Zoom Vomero 5s. It's kind of hard to tell if the cushioning is softer or if there's just more cushioning. Whatever it is, it's super comfortable, which is definitely saying something considering it's pretty hard to do with a lot of these kind of weatherized or waterproofed shoes. The wider midsole makes these things feel a lot more stable and better traction. And then just above the midsole, you now have this rubber mudguard wrapping around the entire shoe, which of course adds a lot more durability and obviously is best for the wet weather. The base material is some kind of almost ripstop feeling textile that is also water repellent. You do also have a few strips of suede on the upper, I guess to add to the, I don't know, aesthetics or premium feel. And then around the side for the Nike swoosh and that signature aesthetic of the Zoom Vomero, those lines that go down the center, that is some kind of synthetic leather material. That kind of replaces the plastic that you find on a normal Zoom Vomero 5. Now the lacing is now elasticated with a lace toggle, which is something that I understand practically, but I think I just don't really like the look of. I think I would have just preferred regular laces. Although it does make these things a lot easier to slip on and off. But I think my favorite upgrade, aside from the taller stack of foam underneath, is the ankle padding, which again lends to the comfort of this pair of shoes. It's so much more puffy, the tongue is more puffy as well, just overall makes these things feel super cozy. I really love how this pair of shoes managed to keep all of the DNA of the Zoom Vomero 5, but just beefed it up so perfectly to make it great for the winter time. Now it is a little bit more expensive than a standard pair of Zoom Vomero 5s, but I think if you live in a place in the world that's super wet and kind of has all of those winter conditions, you will utilize this pair of shoes. Next up, I don't even think you guys are ready. It's a pretty insane pair of shoes. It's the world's most futuristic shoe and the most refined 3D printing technology on the planet. This one will blow your mind. It's the Zellerfeld and Cro Mars Mellow. It's a collaboration between Zellerfeld, the 3D printing company, and Cro, who is a German rapper. And these two came up with one of the most insane designs you have seen on a pair of shoes. It really reminds me of one of those Yeezy foam runner boot samples that we saw a few years ago, like the exact same kind of shape. It's called the Mars Mellow because of how the sides of the shoe and even underneath kind of look like the surface of Mars. And then Mellow because, well, you get the point. Now, I've talked about Zellerfeld's 3D printed shoes quite a lot in the past. I've done a bunch of different videos. I even wore test one of them for 30 days straight. But that was the previous version of their 3D printing technology. This one changes the game pretty significantly. And although this 3D printing technology isn't exclusive to this specific model, they have it across their new range of different designs. I am fully aware of how insane this pair of shoes shoes look. I was also very apprehensive of how I would feel about these when I toured Zellerfeld's factory. The CEO of Zellerfeld was wearing this pair of shoes, and it wasn't a pair of shoes that I looked at and was like, yeah, I could really see myself wearing those. But today, in all honesty, it's a very different story. They somehow managed to look really cool with some of the outfits that I've put together. Way less strange than I initially thought they were gonna look. And obviously the looks are mainly subjective, but I think what most impressed me is just how these things feel on foot considering how they look. So the upper kind of feels like a fabric. If that fabric was filled with air and was super puffy. Now obviously this allows the designs to be super crazy like this, where it's so incredibly tall, but it also has a lot of practical elements to it as well. They're able to make these things incredibly light considering the size. It's way more comfortable than any other material could allow it to be. Foam, rubber, anything like that. This now has the ability to kind of scrumple up as you walk, so it literally feels like nothing when you're walking around. There's no irritation to the top of your foot by hitting straight rubber. It's now waterproof, unlike the previous versions, which had a lot of holes, so they literally let water in through the bottom. It's durable. I have tried everything to kind of, you know, stretch and tear and pull these things apart, but every single time they just go back to the regular shape. I think above all, the biggest trick that these things played on me is just by like looking at them, and then you put your foot in them and then you feel how comfortable and light they are, and you feel like you could run in these things. It doesn't make sense to me. All of this is insane. It's really cool. It's really cool to experience. It's a phenomenally good pair of shoes. It's by far the best 3D printing I have ever seen from any other brand, but it still does not come without its downsides. And the first one has to be the price tag. It is a whopping $380 for this pair of shoes. I understand they're allowed to price these things at whatever they want because this technology, this method of 3D printing is only available through Zellerfeld, but that price tag is just not attainable for so many people. There's also a lot of confusion around how you actually even buy shoes from Zellerfeld, and that's because this technology is so new, you don't have the traditional ordering process. So the way you do it on their website is you basically buy a $10 production slot, and that basically holds your place in a virtual line, and while you're waiting, you scan your foot so they can custom 3D print the shoe made exactly for your feet, and then when it comes to your spot in line, you then pay the rest of the amount. But it does also take a very long time to get to your spot. Currently, when you go to their website to kind of buy a production slot for this pair of shoes, it says that it's only expected to arrive between December and March of 2025. Now, this is just a combination of a lot of people trying to order, so there's a lot of people in front of you, and just the fact that, you know, it takes a long time to 3D print a pair of shoes. So I do think that these are problems that will eventually be ironed out as this technology becomes faster and there's more 3D printers available. But I guess this is all the price you pay if you do want to be an early adopter of this technology. And I think it's definitely worth noting they're not perfect. But for right now, the shoes are dope, way better than I imagined. I think Zellerfeld is going to surprise a few people with some of the upcoming collaborations that they've got in the pipeline. Let me know down in the comment section what sneakers have surprised you in the past, and if you want to check out another video, you just gotta click that one right over there.